This is the lightest that I have been in a long time. 285 is a number that I remember as like, oh yeah, I'm 285, 285. I don't know, it seemed like an average for a while, you know? And then it only just went up. But it hasn't been 285 in 10 years, maybe? So, yeah, that's pretty wild. I mean, we went from 285 all the way up to, at my heaviest, at least that I weighed myself, I was like 330 something. So we're like down 45 pounds, which is crazy. So yeah, that's pretty wild. Today is a long-awaited Mounjaro video. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Seth. I'm 43 years old and I have lost more than 50 pounds now with the help of Mounjaro. So I'm gonna go grab Marge, we're gonna go on a walk, and let's talk about it.
I feel the pull of who I should be, caught between the past and what I can see. The weight of the change rests on my chest. Questions that made no sense.
All right, so let's go over some backstory first. I've always had kind of a weight issue. Ever since I was a little kid, I was always considered husky. While I was in high school, I did some physical things, like I did karate at some point. I think I did some basic kind of running and things like that, but nothing serious. So in college, my roommates and I decided that we were going to try and eat a little bit healthier. We decided to cut out soda from our diets, things like that. And I actually lost a fair amount of weight. Coincidentally enough, that was the same time that I met Amanda, who now we've been together for 24 years. Once we started dating, I put less effort into my weight and I, got heavy again. I mean, with my weight stuff, it's always just been kind of sporadic. I'll start something and then I don't really follow through with it. Either I'll get sick or I get injured or something happens and it just doesn't get followed through. It's probably more of a symptom of ADHD than anything, but it is definitely something that happened. So another time, for example, was when we went to Europe for 6 months. We were backpacking, carrying 50-pound backpacks on our backs, and I probably lost 30 or 40 pounds then. It was just the circumstances of eating healthier, traveling more, carrying everything, walking to everything that we needed to. Not big food changes per se, but it was a lifestyle change. And then of course, when I moved back, I gained that back. So I've been always up and down with it, but I've never been in a place where I felt really immobilized by my weight or that I felt really self-conscious about it. So we'll fast forward now to move to Hawaii, new job there. One of the things that's beautiful about Hawaii is that they don't really care what you look like as much. And as a result, I didn't care what I looked like as much. So I definitely gained more weight. Plus it was COVID and we're just sitting at home all the time. And so, the pounds just added. So after years of up and down with my weight, we finally moved back to Pasadena. I went to my new GP and we did my first physical. So we get back to Pasadena and my GP says, "Oh, your levels are a little high, blood sugar's a little high, cholesterol's a little high, and your weight's too high. And have you heard about this new drug? It's this GLP-1 medication they're having really good success with it. And this is probably 2022. So this is right when Mounjaro was approved for FDA. And at the time, my doctor had recommended Zepbound, which is the weight loss name of the same medication, Mounjaro. So the doctor says, let's try Zepbound. So we're like, all right, let's give it a shot. You know, the classic story, try for insurance, and insurance is like, nope, not gonna cover it, it's a weight loss medication. So I didn't really push it, and I was just like, okay, fine, didn't work, it's just what it is. So another year goes by, and my levels are, you know, a little bit more elevated. Oh, a little bit higher blood sugar. And so the doctor says, well, let's try and see if we can get the diabetes medication, Mounjaro, covered, because your blood sugar is like borderline diabetes, you're in the pre-diabetes stage, and we might be able to get it taken care of. Of course, insurance says no, and I don't push it. So now it's just time for another physical. And he's like, yep, again, your levels are just a little bit higher. You know, we need to come up with something. We need to come up with a plan. Let's try for that Mounjaro again. It's been another year. They're a little bit more open to it. Let's see if it'll work. So we put in the application and they say, nope, it's denied. You should try this other medication first, which is like a pill, I think, that has some success with lowering blood sugar. It doesn't really have the benefits of the weight loss. And I was like, yeah, that's not what we want. So I did a little research, looked up online how people kind of got this through. We were able to actually get the insurance to cover it. And Amanda and I had agreed that if insurance wasn't going to cover it, that we were going to look into getting it outside of insurance. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that later. But we lucked out and we got it. So yay, we got approved. Before going into it though, let's talk a little bit about what Mounjaro is, kind of how it works, what it does. So Mounjaro, or tirzepatide, is a medication that was originally created for blood sugar regulation, diabetes, but it was shown to have really good results with losing weight. It basically copies two hormones that your body naturally makes after eating, called GIP and GLP-1. And those hormones have a couple of different effects. So these hormones help with things like controlling your appetite, slowing down your digestion, and keeping your blood sugar steady. This looks like a nice log. Here you go, March. Tired. They're yummy. So what it does is it makes you fuller longer. You don't think about food. It's just not on your mind. I think people call it food noise, and it eliminates all the food noise. So you don't crave things as much as you once did. You're just not thinking about food. So the way Mounjaro works is it's an injection. Mine comes in an auto pen, which basically is just a dosed out amount in a syringe that's part of an auto injector, and you use it and it doses you that exact amount, and then you're done. And I'll show you a clip of what that's like. All right, I'm gonna try and show you how you do one of these injections, just because I know some people get scared by this kind of thing, and it's really not that scary. So take out our thing, our shot, and it has on it a lock, so you can know it's locked or it's unlocked. You can't inject it if you don't have the lock unlocked. And then you have the top, which has the needle. If you pull this cap off, you'll see that the needle is inside, so it's deep in there. And this is an auto injector pen. So basically, once you unlock it, you push this
and it's just like a click button. Once you push it, it automatically pulls the needle out to the distance that you want it to go. It then starts to inject the Mounjaro, and then it retracts it on its own to keep it safe. So yeah, that's the way that it works. And now I'll show you. What you do is you find a spot on your stomach. Usually for me, it's just like you want either side of your belly button, so like right here. And you just take it and you just push it gently against your stomach. You click the button. Let it do its thing. You can hear it click twice. The second click means that it's done. You pull it off. That's it. It's all retracted back in there. And I don't know if you can see, but there's like really no damage, no nothing to it. It's just right there. It injects it under your skin. I can feel like where it was right here. But yeah, there's no blood, no nothing. You're done. Then you just cap your thing back on so that you can make sure that you, we actually have a sharps container, but you just cap it back on. It could now never be locked again, and you cannot push the button anymore. So that's it, it's finished. And then, yeah, so now your thing is done, and you go put this into the, your like sharps container, and you're done. So hope that was helpful.
So that's it. You take your shot once a week, and you increase the dosage as you need. There's a couple of levels. You basically start at 2.5 and you can move up to 5. It's in 2.5 increments. I'm right now taking 10, which is about the middle, and you can stay at a level for a long period of time. I've been taking this 10 for about 2 months now, and I'm still seeing results from it. So as I talked about before, I got really lucky that it was able to be covered for $25 a month, but not all insurance is the same. A lot of insurance companies aren't covering it. I think it's getting better. There seems to be a lot of research that's being done on Mounjaro that have effects outside of just the lowering blood sugar and weight loss. There's talk about sleep apnea stuff, other types of neurological disorders that might be beneficial from it, like cravings, addiction, things like that. But what a lot of people have been doing is using compounding pharmacies, and that can get a little bit tricky, but I have a friend that's been doing it, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video on this where I'll go and I'll interview him and talk about his experiences with ordering through compounding pharmacies, because that is another way that you can get it outside of insurance. So my direct side effects have been pretty minimal. I would say mostly digestive related things like constipation or lack of constipation. I have had kind of sulfury burps from times to times. I know it sounds weird, but it's just because my body is digesting food slower than it normally does. And it took a minute for me to kind of get used to it. I would say probably about a month or two. There was one really bad side effect, but it wasn't a direct side effect of the medication. It was a side effect of me not doing something. And that was, I got a kidney stone. So one of the things that Mounjaro does is also reduce your water cravings, or you don't feel thirsty as often. And I didn't drink enough water, and I got a kidney stone, and those suck. So it's not a direct effect of the Mounjaro, but it is kind of, it's my fault because I didn't pay attention to how much water I was drinking, and as a result, I got too dehydrated, and I had a kidney stone. So drink your water, please. Kidney stones are horrible. I would not wish that on anyone. So on the food side of things, I just don't have as many cravings as I once had. I don't feel like I really turned to food as a source of comfort. Like I was upset about something, so I ate, but you definitely don't think about it like you used to. I mean, I guess I would consider myself a foodie. I enjoy food, I love food, and I still do. It doesn't take away that. But you don't think about it, or you don't have the desire to eat something the same way that you once did, where you're almost like salivating about it and you really, really want it and you think about it all day. You think about it, but it's not going to drive your life. And I think that's big for a lot of people. So my experiences so far. So when I started this journey back in November, I was right around 330. I think I weighed 328 when I was home from the doctor. I think they weighed me in the doctor's office, but I was 328 when I got home. And that was my starting point. That was the most I'd weighed ever. And I started taking the medication, and I started seeing results. I mean, I lost 10 pounds within the first couple of weeks. I think that first month I'd already lost 10 or 15 pounds. And now we're 6 months later, a little less than 6 months later, and I'm down over 50 pounds. Now there are a couple of really big side effects that are positive. And I wouldn't really say they're side effects, they're results because of the medication. So let's talk about those.
So what does that basically happen?
So what's happening here is you were diabetic
Right.
around here.
Yeah.
Now you are almost away from even being pre-diabetic. If this comes down to lower than 5.7, you don't need, this number will not even be read.
And what
So-
was, and so this was only, and this hasn't been in like since.
This has been since September of last year.
Yeah,
You
so
were
like, so
diabetes.
6 months. So in 6 months on the
In 6
medication,
months.
it took me almost to completely out of the
Not
out of the
even
range.
pre-diabetic.
That's
like,
crazy.
So if this is 5.7 or below,
Yeah.
you're not even pre-diabetic.
That's crazy.
So this is excellent. Doctor's going to be really happy to see this.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
In the struggle, I find the real high.
So before I started taking Mounjaro, I'd actually been diagnosed with sleep apnea twice. Once when we were in Hawaii, and we had just had Olivia, so I wasn't able to use the machine, and it was a big pain in the butt. But then I got diagnosed again when we were back here in Pasadena. And, you know, my symptoms were, I would wake up with a dry mouth, I wasn't breathing well at night. Amanda said, you know, I was snoring like crazy. Amanda said she would hear me sometimes like not breathe for like a minute or something. It was crazy. Basically all of my sleep apnea symptoms now are completely gone, which is wild. I sleep through the night. I'm way more rested. I feel great. I used to take a nap almost every single day. I haven't napped really since I started taking this medication. That's crazy. So besides the whole losing weight thing, a major one for me was energy increase. I mean, I have ADHD, so I never really felt like I had low energy. But in retrospect, and looking at who I was then to who I am now, my energy is through the roof. And the way I really see it is in my interaction with the kids. So before, you know, the kids want to do something, they want to play, they want to do this and that. I would join in, but it was like a half-ass effort, you know? It was, yeah, I'll do it a little bit. It wasn't very long. Or, yeah, let's go do something, but it wasn't crazy strenuous. And it's only now that looking back at who I was before that I can see these things. Because at the time, I didn't think anything of it. Oh, I'm just a little tired. I'm gonna lay down. You guys go play, have fun. Now I'm looking back and I'm like, yeah, you had like no energy. So that's a huge thing that's changed for me is the energy stuff. Now the kids want to go do something, let's go. Or I'm initiating, hey, let's go on a hike today. Let's go on a walk today. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's have an adventure. That is the biggest bonus for me that I've experienced among everything. I could care less about how I look, about my weight, but the fact that I have more energy to spend time with my kids is the most amazing part of this whole thing.
So where do we go from here? Up to this point, I've relied on pretty much the medication to do all the work. It's done the majority of the heavy lifting, to be honest. I haven't really changed my diet a ton. I haven't really been exercising a lot. And I can tell that it's only going to go a certain distance before I need to start putting in a lot more effort. So I feel like there are two avenues, which I just explained, that I need to start focusing on. One is the diet, and two is the exercise. So with the diet side of things, I think the medication is definitely going to help.
you don't crave things as much as you normally do, and it already suppresses your appetite. So it's mainly picking good things when I'm eating to try and promote muscle development and healthy eating, like veggies, good proteins, chicken, fish, stuff like that. I'm very fortunate because my wife Amanda is in amazing shape. She runs marathons and she already eats pretty dang healthy. So if I just follow maybe slightly more on her path, I'll probably be in a world of better shape than I am right now. So that is going to be something that's lucky. But I have to be careful because a lot of the times with diets and things like that, if I stray too far away from what I'm used to, it's just not sustainable. I have to pick something that's going to be a lifestyle change that I can actually make and adhere to, right? The ADHD thing, I'm going to get distracted from it. I'm going to do something else and I'm just going to deviate from that path. So I have to find something that can still incorporate things that I enjoy eating to a degree. And I don't know how that's going to look. I don't know if that's like cheat meals or just portion control or just really trying to buckle down on the calories in versus calories out. I think that's probably the key. So I'm going to look into that. The second part is the exercise. And again, I don't want to start something that I'm just going to end up stopping. So I need to find something that's sustainable. And one thing that seems to have been working for me is taking Margaret, our dog, on walks. She needs the exercise. I need the exercise. And I think that's a really good way of us both getting out there and getting a little bit of exercise. So that's where I'm going to start. But again, that only goes so far. I eventually think I need to find a personal trainer or start a gym membership because I did really enjoy going to a personal trainer when I did it. I actually used to go to a friend of mine from high school, and he was amazing. So I might ring him up again and see if he is still doing it and if he's willing to train me. But I got to find something. So maybe you guys can help. If you know someone or have a recommendation, drop it in the comments below. Let me know who you like or what you've used or what's worked for you. I mean, up to this point, it's been pretty easy because I've been taking the, easy way out. But, if you have some recommendations for something, please let me know, share it, put it in the comments. Maybe other people can get some information from there too. So how am I going to represent this fitness journey on the channel? And I've thought about this for a little bit and I don't have the answer yet, but I've come up with some ideas and I want to run them by you and see what you guys think. One of the ideas is I dedicate a video each week about fitness and my journey. I'll check in terms of what my weight is. I'll talk about some pros and cons or struggles that I had that week about, exercising and or food stuff. Maybe I'll show some meals that I've learned to cook or that Amanda has cooked that have worked for me or that I've enjoyed. But another component of it is the physicality side of it, the exercise, and take you guys along for, that exercise journey. Like, I need to fix my bike. We'll do that. We'll finish that and we'll go bike riding. I'll show you around Pasadena, some areas that I like to bike. Go on some hikes and take you on a hike with me, with the dogs or just with the family. Another thing maybe though too is trying out different things that I haven't done before. So, maybe I'll meet up with a friend and do a sport or an activity that they like. Maybe I'll go train with somebody who has a routine that they really enjoy and see if I can do it. Kind of just this overall fitness journey. If I can document it and show it to you guys, it'll keep me accountable, but it'll also maybe give you guys some ideas about things that you could do to exercise. So yeah, there's a lot to think about, but I am super excited to be on this journey with you guys, and I look forward to sharing these videos going forward. And I'm going to reach out to some friends about their use of the compounded formula for GLP-1 medication, and I'll make a follow-up video on that. Thank you for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm excited about this fitness journey. I'm excited to see where it goes. If you're interested in following me along with this fitness journey, make sure you hit subscribe so that you can be notified when new videos come out. We're still going to do our backyard videos, but this is definitely going to be a component of the channel going forward. If you've got any questions or comments, I will try and follow up with any of those in the comment section below. And if you're on this journey too, I would love to hear about your story and what's worked for you. And lastly, I just wanted to say thank you as always for watching, and I will see you in the next video.
All right, as promised, here is the compression shirt that the wifey got me. So put it on. I'm gonna show you how it works. All right, let's see if I can do this by myself. Oh, oh. This is the hard part. Oh. I know, March. I know. Oh, we're getting there. Oh, ow. Oh, okay. Yes, Cookie, I know. Wow. Oh, tight as a drum. Okay. What do you think, Cookie? You like my compression shirt? Yeah, so this is the compression shirt. As you can see, it sucks you all in. Like those, what are those things called? Like Spanx or something? But yeah, this is the compression shirt. Here, we'll put on a regular shirt. Regular shirt on top with compression shirt. I mean, I think at this stage it's like not super necessary. You know, I can wear a regular shirt and it's still fine. I don't think I need to wear this suit of armor yet, but yeah, there's the video of trying this thing on. So hope you enjoyed. Yay. All right, and this is the shirt on without the compression shirt. I mean, it's, here, I'll put you down. I don't think it's a huge difference. I'm not trying to suck anything in. It's kind of just where things are. I mean, I guess you can kind of see like right here, this is what I was talking about, the side boob a little bit more, but honestly, I don't care that much. It's going to be more. It's going to be more for like just comfort in terms of movement, you know, like I don't want like, you know, skin in the way and pinching and that kind of stuff. So, but it's not super necessary right now, but for the entertainment value for you, I thought I would do it.